What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Huddle Talk, Huddle Card Collection Live, episode number 6 already. Holy smokes. Where has the time gone? We have a special guest with us, but before we get to him, who's the guy in the top right-hand corner over there?
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight?
Would you like to pass it on?
Introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. I'm Kenny Reed. What's up?
He is the man behind all our logos and stuff on the channel and Instagram and all that stuff.
And the intro video.
Yes, and the intro video that just played. Yep.
We will add his Instagram link into the description after the show. So if you are interested in any kind of stuff like that, you could hit Kenny up.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, man, woo!
What's going on, Paul? What's up, Matt?
Gate City, what's going on? Paulie, what's happening? Matt, Midwest. What's up, Matty? How are you, sir? Hope all is well. Boys, we got some, there's been a lot happening in the last week of sports in football and in baseball, basically. And, man, where do you want to start, Mike?
Well, we can quickly talk about football. Kenny's not too vast in the football world. He's vast in baseball, I guess. So we can run down what happened in football today with the sure Paul's probably quite excited. The Packers traded Devontae Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders. I think for some a couple first round picks or some high priority picks or something like that. I don't think the full details are out quite yet.
They got from this year's draft, they got their first round pick and a second round pick. So they picked up Packers got the Raiders. What is it, number 22, I think, and whatever they had in the second round. Yes, I'm sure it is, Paulie. And then the Raiders signed Devontae Adams to a 5-year contract.
Oh, they already extended him?
That's what I read.
Oh, wow.
That's what I read. I mean, it's crazy what the stuff has happened. Von Miller signed with the Bills, $120
Yeah, that's going to be
million.
an annoying defense to play now, twice a year.
Yeah. Allen Robinson, he signed with the Rams, and the Rams are still trying to sign OBJ.
OBJ will stay. He'll take a pay cut and stay.
Oh, sure. I mean, get a chance to win.
Yeah, but he's also an LA guy, so.
Yep.
Baker requesting a trade from the Browns.
Yeah, Baker. I mean, the charges being cleared on Deshaun Watson. And it looks like the Saints, the Carolina Panthers, and the Atlanta Falcons are in play for Deshaun Watson. Matt, I tell you, yeah, the Colts need a quarterback, and it sounds like Baker might want to go there.
Jimmy G.
Or Baker. One of those two may go. You may get one of those two, Matty. May get one of those two. Our Jets have, done some nice things. Not any big super duper splashes, but shoring up the offensive line, fixing the defensive, the back end of the defense.
Yeah, so, that pickup from Tampa Bay is going to be huge.
Yep. And the guard that they got from San Francisco, that's going to be, big for them too. Paul, do I think Vaughn has 6 years in him? Unfortunately, Paul, it don't matter. These guys can sign with whatever they want. It's really only going to be, where the guaranteed money is or where the cap hit is. If his last couple of years aren't guaranteed and there's no big cap hit, they let him go. But it's going to be interesting. So yeah, and there's probably still a bunch more moves to come in football. So you did have the big Russell Wilson trade. You did have Aaron deciding to stay.
Yeah, we covered that last week.
Yeah, but I wonder if Aaron's contract is what led to Devontae Adams having to be traded. It's one of those things.
Who
One
knows?
of those things.
Lots of moves in baseball as well.
Holy cow! Baseball.
And you want to talk about your team?
All right. Well, I'm a huge Braves fan. We all know that, and well, you guys know that. But yeah, this was big news. But we were kind of talking about it a little bit before we even started. But Freddie got traded to the Dodgers. But honestly, talking about that trade,
signed,
yes,
yeah,
signed to the Dodgers. And that didn't surprise me, honestly. But because he lives over in LA, so that makes sense. But what's funny though is he was actually really thinking about going to the Rays because of the deal, like 6 years, I think it was. And then Dodgers decided to match that, and that's what ultimately helped decide him, basically. But I'm not surprised about his choice of signing with Dodgers at the end of it all. But like we were talking earlier, is how it is upsetting as a Braves fan because Freddie is a big staple for years for us, but how we were able to sign Olsen right after that. So that to replace him is pretty great. So that's great, but it is definitely sad for me because I love Freddie Freeman, seeing that 5 on the field, but gonna miss him.
Well, I mean, look, you figure, I don't know what the Braves number was for Freddie Freeman, and let's say the number, let's not forget the years, but let's say the number was about the same for that they gave Olsen, which I doubt it was because Olsen got 180 for what, 8 years?
I think it was 8 years.
So
I thought it was 120 something or 135.
I'm not sure. Well, we can look it up. So, but what I'm saying is that from that standpoint is that, getting Olsen, you got to think about it. You're getting a quality, power hitter. You're getting a Gold Glove level, first baseman, and you're also getting a guy who's 6 years younger or around there, 5 or 6 years younger than Freddie Freeman.
He's about to be 28. I think he's 27 right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Freddie's 32. So let's say 5 years younger.
68 million.
Huh?
168 million.
168 million for 8 years, right?
Yes, and he's about to be 28 this month.
Yeah. So I mean, so you got to figure from that standpoint, that is a pretty darn good. Look, as a Brave fan, you got to be happy that you let Freddie walk, but man, you made a heck of a trade, and and you really didn't give up a lot. You gave up Pache and whatever that other guy's name is.
Their high-rated catcher.
Yeah, but they're looking at a bunch of other guys. But they got some guy named Shea Hillgress or something along those, who's another catching prospect that they have. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't trade good players, but they traded prospects for an established major leaguer, and then turn around and sign that guy for really good coin. And you got to figure between him being locked up, Ozzie being locked up, and Acuna being locked up, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening, Mike? How are you?
I think it's a pretty good. At the end, it's just one of those things. As the season starts to roll out, I think it'd be good. Now, going back on the Freddie note, how he's going to the Dodgers is they got the lineup that it could potentially be for the Dodgers this year.
4 MVPs on the team right now.
Right, that to me is World Series bound.
Cody
right there.
and Freddie.
Yeah,
right. And as long as if they all stay healthy, I mean, I see them. I'm not going to say they're going to win the World Series, but because I see, the Mets, I don't know too much about the Mets, but what's been going on in their news, but I know you guys have been having some good pickups and, especially, I mean, you guys, to me, have one of probably the strongest pitching staff in the NL East, at least. And so, I mean, I think it's going to be a really good season. Like, I'm actually pretty pumped for it. I think the playing field in our division and just stuff is just going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting. You talk about the Dodgers, and I think they were saying that when you look at Mookie's going to lead off. Trey Turner's going to bat second. Freddie's going to bat third. And I think preseason, like MVP voting type things, I think those are 3 out of the top 8 players or 5 players when they're looking at like projected potential MVPs of the league.
Yeah.
It's
now,
just
what's going to be interesting is Max
crazy.
Muncy on the Dodgers, because he was their first baseman and he's a power guy too on the at the plate. So I'm curious to see.
Man, that lineup's really lefty heavy now.
It is, but I'm just really curious to see what they're going to do with Max Muncy. Is he going to become more of a DH role now, or is he going to get traded, or do you think he's going to get moved somewhere else on the field? I don't know.
I could see him DHing, playing first, let Freddie DH sometimes, playing third, let Turner DH sometimes.
Yeah.
Turner's still there, but he's up there in age. Because
Yeah.
I think they're pushing for Gavin Lux to be their primary second baseman now.
Right.
Your outfield's going to be Mookie, Cody, AJ Pollock, and Chris Taylor, but Chris Taylor can also go play the infield.
Yeah, he's quick.
Yeah.
The thing they just need to shore up a little bit. I'm pretty sure Bauer's going to be back, so they're going to have a top rotation as well. They just need a little bullpen help probably, and they'll be fine.
Young catcher and Will Smith.
Good catcher too. Very good.
Amazing.
Yeah, the Dodgers, but it just goes to show you that the Dodgers could offer and go that hard after Freddie Freeman because of the DH.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because because that you can take a Max Muncy and move him there. You're not worrying about trying to give that bat at bats.
Right, exactly. You have that confidence with that, because you throw Freddie at first base and he's going to catch anything. He's like a vacuum at first base. So
Yeah.
it's easy for the Dodgers, like as far as that regard goes. So that's good for them. But
yeah,
I'm gonna call it right here. I think the Mets will win our division this season.
a lot has to happen. The Mets made a lot of moves, and those guys have to play, well. They've added, on the off, you added 3 new batters, that gotta fit in, in Marte, Canna, and Escobar. You have Cano coming back. What's he going to be like?
Right.
From that standpoint,
I wish they would have added a lefty arm to the rotation, considering 3 of the lefty bats we now have to face are going to be, or 4, Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, Kyle Schwarber, and Matt Olson now.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, they don't really have that. They don't have that lefty guy. Who knows? The problem the Mets are going to have is the back end of their bullpen. What Edwin Rosario has not. Not Edwin.
No, I think it's the front end this time. I think the back end will be fine because you have Edwin, you have Familia, and you have Lugo.
No, Familia's gone.
He is?
I believe Familia signed.
That's news.
I think Jeurys Familia has left the Mets.
I looked that one up. I didn't hear about that one. But another reason why I'm just predicting potentially that the Mets could win the division is because I look at like the Braves, right? And we were a very young team, very new team. We're going through that rebuilding. And everybody is like, oh, they're going to be trash. But they kind of surprised us. They made it, to the playoffs. Did they go far? No. But that's the experience. I think that's what really brought those guys together. So as they continued to build, and they had Freddie as a veteran player at the time on that team, and we signed 1-year contracts with other veteran players, I think that really helped boost the confidence of our young players like Albies, Dansby Swanson, and Acuna. And so I feel like the Mets have that mojo going on. It's just not there yet because obviously the season has started. And like you said, you got a lot of new people that came on the team that, got to see how they mesh and how things flow. So, and then, the bullpen's washy. And I can tell you right now, we know about the bullpens being washy as a Braves fan. That bullpen, you never know what's going to happen. So I don't think you guys got to worry too much about the bullpen. Yes, it should be stronger, and like Mikey was saying, like having some lefties now, so I'm needing some lefties. But I feel pretty confident for the Mets, and I don't like the Mets, and so for me to say that, I'm like kind of crazy. But
No,
If our 1, 2, and 3 can get us to the 7th, 8th inning every time they pitch, we'll be okay.
yeah.
I mean, I mean, you got 3 all-stars in your top 3, the top
Technically
rotation.
4.
Who?
DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, and Walker was an all-star.
That's true.
That's
You
right.
have
That's right.
Walker. I mean, so you're. I don't know. I just, Lindor has to, he has to play better. I mean, I think they made great moves to upgrade the outfield. I think the outfield has gotten a lot better just from a defensive standpoint with Marte and Canna, Ed, and those guys out there. It means Dominic Smith doesn't have to be in the outfield. He can be.
He'll hit bombs like he did off Scherzer yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. He could be first base and DH. Him and Pete can swap out. So that's a good thing. From that standpoint. And you'll see what happens. I mean, Philadelphia getting what, Schwarber?
They got Familia. They signed him.
Yeah.
On Tuesday it was.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, their bullpen, they did a lot of good work, Philadelphia. They're good offensively, from that standpoint. I think, it's going to be tough. It's going to be, it's not going to be easy. I mean, yeah. It's going to be very interesting. The American League is weird. Like Matt said in his, the A's fire sale. Man, I tell you, you give them credit because they know how to draft guys and know how to get them through to be able to build them up and trade them. But man, if you're an A's fan, yeah, you compete, but it's gotta stink wanting to root for these guys, and then all of a sudden your favorite players, get traded away.
Yeah, it's almost like a what do you call it? Like a farm, and they're almost like just a farming organization for the MLB. Like they just have all these players come in, like you said, but they don't stay.
Yeah,
they're just like it's like hey, if you guys need a really good player, give this guy a couple more years. Just look towards the A's, and you'll get that. You can get a player. It's almost like a little in-house market for people to buy from. But yeah, it is crazy. But I would hate to be an A's fan because of that. Because you're just like you have someone that's on there for maybe 4 seasons total, and then they're gone.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's tough. It's tough.
I kind of wish that, and I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head if they did even look towards Freddie Freeman, but I was kind of hoping the Angels would have offered something to Freddie Freeman to play, because I would love to see Mike Trout go to the World Series, and I feel like getting Freddie over there too is a good person to have as an add-on to help lead them that way.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice, but I think Freddie's looking at it from a standpoint of got the taste. What gives him the best chance? I mean, look, it's it's not like he signed for $3.87.
No, he signed.
The guy got 160 something million for
62 million.
So he did well. I just think he probably looked at it from a standpoint of is that there may have been more money out there that it may not have. I think he looked at it from a standpoint of, you know what? I'd rather go somewhere where we're going to be at the top. There's a commitment to being at the top. The talent they have, when you look at the Dodgers, they add him at 32, but they're not an old team.
Mm-hmm.
they're still they still have some good young talent. So it's not like they're gonna go away anytime soon. From
No,
that
yeah.
standpoint. I mean, injury is going to be a lot for them, but you have the ownership that's going to be committed to win, to do all the things that need to be done. The Angels, you don't know.
That's very true.
They haven't shown anything. They got plenty of money. Look, they gave Mike Trout $500 million.
That's literally their only key, to me, the only key player the Angels have. And I'm just,
Shohei Ohtani,
Ohtani,
I
the
mean,
two-way
yeah,
free.
okay, yes,
the
two-way
MVP.
free, yes, but I mean, long term, like Mike Trout, man, like I don't know how he's staying on that. Like I'm surprised he hasn't traded or signed somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
I give Trout credit. Dude could have said, nope, you know what, man, I don't have the confidence in you guys. I'm leaving and everything, but he didn't.
Man, could you imagine? But if that happened and Steve was the owner of the Mets at the time, oh my God!
If
If he made that happen, I would somehow find a way to run into Steve Cohen somewhere. I would stalk him to find somewhere.
give him a big hug.
Just give him a very firm handshake and say thank you.
yeah, it's like, hey, you don't know me, but thanks.
Hey, I don't care if I get a ring in my lifetime. Just thank you for this.
Yeah.
Right.
And Matt made a point. He said he's surprised that the Suzuki guy signed with the Cubs over the Padres. Yeah, Matt, I was very surprised that he went there. Again, though, could he be looking at a standpoint of, hey, it might be easier for the Cubs to get to the playoffs and maybe somehow eke out, a win every now and again over the Padres. He may have been thinking along those lines.
I think
I
he
don't know.
might have been looking along playing time wise because the Padres got so many guys that play so many different positions, and because they have Kim out there, they have Cronenworth, who pretty sure both those guys are like Swiss Army knives. They just got a lot of players, and I mean, I think going to that division as your first MLB experience, I mean, that's a tough division to break out in. Whereas if you go to the NL Central, who's going to win that division now? Probably the Cardinals by a landslide unless they get hurt, and then it's the Cubs.
Right.
Because Red moved their big 3 stars.
Yes.
Pirates are never going to do anything because they're never going to spend any money.
We just signed someone from the Reds too to the Braves, a pitcher, I think Thornburg or whatever his name is, a reliever. If I remember correctly.
Who else is in the NL Central? The Cubs, the Cardinals, the Reds, the Pirates. Oh, the Brewers. The Brewers. I mean, it might be the Brewers division.
Oh, yeah.
The Brewers are going to be decent. The Brewers are always going to be, halfway decent. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting from a standpoint of, what they're looking for. I mean, again, it sucks with Cincinnati if you're a Cincinnati fan that you've, given away. And the funny thing is why do you not give up? Why do you still have Castillo? Maybe they just haven't got
free agent.
What?
I think he's a free agent.
Okay.
I thought
Nick Castellanos, not Castillo.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the pitcher? Oh,
the pitcher.
I don't know. I thought you were talking about Nick. My bad.
No. The pitcher. So I mean, from that standpoint, I mean, look, I think the truth is when you look at it when you look at it, you're going to have a bunch of teams who are going to make decisions and just get rid of guys because they know that, look, we got no shot. Let's go young and not have the big payroll. And, we'll make some money and stuff. I mean, that's the only thing it could be, but the problem you're going to have is that sooner or later, these teams are not going to be able to keep paying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers, I mean, yeah, they got, okay, who are they going to go for next? what $100 million plus contract are they going to give out?
Right, like really,
You know what I mean?
really gonna,
From that
no, yeah.
standpoint, it's crazy.
I think,
but
yeah.
But I mean, the funny thing is, for every Dodgers, there is, a team that has a young talent like the Braves. There is that team like the Tampa Bay Rays who just figure out a way to,
Mariners
win
now.
and stuff. Huh?
The Mariners now.
The Mariners. Look at all the young talent the Mariners have stocked up.
And the stuff they just traded for. Suarez and Winker from the Reds. Robbie Ray from they signed him.
They signed him, yeah.
I mean, even Miami, the Marlins, like they don't have any really true big prospects on there, but they got a lot of young talent that's definitely being developed down there.
Yep.
So it's kind of, are they going to do anything this season? Probably not. They'll still probably be down there with Washington on the bottom, but like you said, there's a lot of young people that are being built, and like you said, the team doesn't have all these money to how many other contracts are they going to buy for $100-something million?
Yeah,
and stuff. So
there's only going to be so many teams that are going to be able to do it with the way the salaries are. When that's the crazy part. If you're again, if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates, if you're I mean, heck, if you're the Arizona Diamondbacks,
right?
What do you have to look forward to? I mean, hey, look, don't forget another team to think about that has spent some money this year. Those Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
They signed Eduardo Rodriguez. They signed Javi Baez, and they got some young talent coming up with Torkelson and Daz Cameron. They have some young guys who are ready to move up.
Yeah, I feel like they've been pretty mediocre in like their division. So I feel like you said, the amount of money they've been spending and moving stuff around and bringing some players up, that they're trying to get up towards a higher standing in their division to make more of a push to go to the postseason and stuff.
They'll probably be in that number 2 spot this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, they'll
because
probably
that's still the White Sox division.
So my thing is like, because this is news to me, I haven't looked too much into it. We mentioned this a little bit before we started, but Carlos Carrera, I wonder where he's going to go, because I know the Astros are still talking to him and trying to stay engaged with him. But I feel like if he doesn't go back to Houston, end up signing some sort of contract, like a 1-year contract or something with Houston, I really think maybe the Red Sox will pick him up, because then you have Bogarts and him.
No, I think the Cubs will dish out the money for him.
You think so? That's the thing. I think I think the reason why they haven't truly made a move for him to stay on the Astros is because I think he's looking for money right now. He's going to give me the best offer.
Right. Don't forget Trevor Story.
Trevor is someone that you could see going. I could see going to Boston.
I can see him going to Boston, but
where's he going to play?
Huh?
But I can see him going to the Cubs.
Where's he going to play?
Third or no?
Rafael Devers.
You can put him at second.
Yeah, don't forget Red Sox have some young talent, some young guys too. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, look, and then we didn't even talk about the Yankees making their big trade.
What was their trade? I saw something.
They traded with Minnesota. They traded Gio Urshela and Gary Sanchez and got Donaldson and what's that guy's name? Isaiah Kin something Liffer, the guy with the 3 names.
Yeah, the weird
but they basically just changed their left side of their infield. They got their shortstop and they got their third baseman.
They're the number 2 team in New York.
Huh?
They're the number 2 team in New York.
Hopefully.
That's number 1.
Hopefully they'll be that way for a while.
Adam Ottavino even said that in his press conference with the Mets.
Yeah, Adam Ottavino started with the Mets.
It feels good to be on the good team in New York.
He might be mad because Didn't the
And
Yankees trade him?
from once I saw that, I have unlimited love for him now.
Is that he going to be your next rainbow?
No.
Next rainbow. That's funny.
So it's going to be interesting.
It is, especially with these few lingering players still kind of out there, like, and they're not just like any just players. There's some great defensive and offensive players that people could pick up. So
but
someone's gonna get a good pick.
I wouldn't mind the Mets adding Castellano as a nice, as a nice bat. That'd be a nice bat to have in the order. But I don't know what you got to figure from a standpoint of is he would be platooning in the outfield or DH and stuff. They still have Robinson Cano, so they still have to figure out what to do with him. But I think
that's right. You still guys got him, yeah.
Yeah, Robbie's coming back after getting one more. Robbie gets caught one more time, he's done for his career. So hopefully,
how old is he now?
38.
Okay, he's not in his 40s yet. I for some reason thought he was in his
38, and he still has like 3 years left on his contract, or 2 years left on his contract. Man, it was a big one because I think when he signed with Seattle, it was like 10 years, $240 million or something like that. So he's still going to be around for a while, unfortunately.
Dang, I didn't know it was that big one. I didn't know it was that big. Jeez.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I feel like he's been kind of a waste to you guys right now. I haven't, he's quiet. There's nothing.
Well, he didn't play all last year.
Well, because he's too old. I feel like he's just too old. I don't know. He's just not there.
He still drops bombs here and there. That's what he'll do. Yeah. He'll be a DH. He ain't gonna see the freaking field.
No, he's nothing but holding the lumber in his hand and he's like, hey, I need you to get some runs on this board right now. Go up there and make it happen. Which is good. Which is kind of like
he's the veteran Hispanic player that we need for our young Hispanic players that we got.
Yeah.
Jock Peterson signed with the San Francisco Giants.
Jock Peterson.
Oh, and Jorge Soler's still out there too, I think.
Soler's still out there. Anthony Rizzo went back to the Yankees.
It doesn't surprise me.
What else? What kind of stuff? Dave Robertson.
So there's been a lot. I can't even keep track.
Andrew McCutchen signed with the Brewers.
Really?
Yeah. Eddie Rosario came back to the Braves.
Yeah, I saw that. I think on a 2-year contract. Something like that. Nothing crazy long.
Yeah, just 2 year.
Oh wow, Kenley Jansen's still available.
Who?
Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, he'll go back. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes back to what do you call him? The Dodgers.
Michael Conforto still floating out there.
Yeah, and the problem you have, is with some of these other guys, with those mid guys, with Conforto and some of the guys like him, like a Soler and all that kind of stuff. Some of these teams are drying up. They're gonna have, a guy like Conforto right now. He's probably in a situation to where he's going to need to sign a 1-year deal, try and do well, and then get back out on the market next year.
Yeah,
because he's not getting a big deal from I shouldn't say he's not. He shouldn't get a big deal from anybody.
Mm-mm. And you said Andrew McCutchen signed with who? The Brewers?
Yep.
When did that trade go down? Earlier this week? Or signed, whatever.
Wednesday. Yesterday.
Oh, wow. Okay, I missed that one.
They agreed to
because he was. One year
contract.
What was his contract? It was with the Phillies originally, right?
Yeah, so I mean, McCutcheon's at a point now where he's he's a fourth outfielder guy.
Right. Yeah, he's gonna have those 1 year contracts off and on. So
Yeah.
because only signed, did he only sign a 1 year with the Phillies, or was it like a 2 year? I think originally.
I think when he signed it was a 2-year.
Yeah, because and even then, like I don't, it didn't even seem like he really enjoyed being in Philly when he signed. I think again, it's just he's a fourth outfielder, like you said.
Yeah, Kutch is one of those guys who, you know, he fell off. He fell off kind of quick.
Yeah,
I mean, but there's not a lot you can do with those guys. I mean, that's what happens and stuff.
that's true.
They those are the types of things that go on. With those, you get those aging players that just want to continue, and and just chase and stuff and just keep playing. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's old for baseball. He's not old by any by any normal means. I mean, but I mean,
Maybe
hey,
he will
if you love playing and
play.
someone's going to give you millions of dollars, okay,
Yeah, I mean, shoot, more than I get.
yeah,
I don't get offered a contract to go to work for $1 million. I mean, if I do one day, man, that'll be great. But
no,
um,
no, you don't.
maybe if he ever gives up baseball, he'll do his voice acting and stuff because he did like some voice acting or something like that for like some Disney movies or Pixar movies or something like that.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So maybe he'll stick with that when he retires from baseball and hangs up the cleats or something. So.
Oh yeah.
But speaking more of baseball, what do we think of our hometown Michael Chavis Pirates? Like, what do you think he's going to do this year? Do you think he's going to? I think if he doesn't have a good season, this is my personal thought. I've been doing some thinking, just chit chatting with people. I don't think if he doesn't have a well performed season, and I don't know what his contract was for the Pirates. I think it's going to make it tough for his career moving on because he's in his mid-20s now. He's like 26.
He's late 20s.
25.
Yeah, late. Yeah,
he's in old age, so he's like 27, I think.
Yeah, see, he's already to me pushing the envelope, and to me, I feel like he really needs to have a good season before he gets into his 30s to get somewhere solid for at least whatever to be on that playing field 100%. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I agree. I think there's a couple things. Number one, I hope he's been very smart with his money. Number one. Number two, I do agree with what you're saying. Now, the big thing is this, right? He's with the Pirates, so he should get a shot, right? He should be the starting, second baseman, I guess. So, I mean, I just thinking about the Pirates, I don't know who, why he would not, right? Like
right.
you think about it and you go, wow, ooh, the Pirates, who could they, put in somewhere over him? And you're like, well, you know what? Yeah, they do have, looking at it, they have O'Neal Cruz, but man, you hope Michael gets a shot, right? Oh, actually, no, actually, right now, Michael is penciled in as the starting first baseman for Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So you give him a shot to play. If he does decent, right? If he can figure out the way to put the bat on the ball more, not strike out as much, hit a few home runs, do that type of stuff. I think because he's in Pittsburgh, they might be willing to give him. He should have a longer leash unless they have a stud somewhere.
Right.
Unless if they have a stud first baseman, then maybe I can see them being like, all right, you know what? Hey, all right, we'll put this so on and so forth. But I think it's funny. He might have thought a lot of people might have thought going to Pittsburgh was a horrible thing. But the truth is, where he was in his career, how he was performing, this is good for him. A team that doesn't have a
Agreed.
lot of expectations, a team that can throw him out there and let him get the at-bats that he needs. He wasn't getting consistent in at-bats with Boston, so you don't know what he could be, what he could do, because he didn't have that consistency.
No, right. And,
You know?
and given him on the Pirates too, because I was even looking at their last year's stats, they're 61 and 101.
Yeah.
They're obviously in a phase where, like you said, he should have that longer leash. And that's why, there should be no doubt he shouldn't be out there. Like you said, he's penciled in for first base, going in first base. To me, if I was in his shoes, this is like, this is my door wide open here to really show who I am as a baseball player, because you're on a team, like you said, that doesn't have all this pressure really, because they're obviously like building right now,
Right.
and going through that whole cycle. So I really do feel like if Mike comes out there and performs this year and goes in with putting the bat on the ball, like you said, less strikeouts, and having a solid defensive end too, then he's going to be. I think he's got a good chance of continuing that consistency moving forward as he develops, because I feel like that would just build his confidence right there even more. And I think, like you said, yeah, some people think, why did he go to the Pirates? But at the same time, like Red Sox, if he didn't go in there, hit a bomb or do something, you had Devers right there. Just, he was just a hot fireball, basically just performing. And honestly, you put Michael in over Devers when he was at the Red Sox. It was kind of like, man, I'd rather see Devers be playing right now in this situation because he's performing. Michael's a little off and on right now, hot, cold. So
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
The Red Sox were tough when you figure, they had a lot of younger, they had a lot of young infielders, and it was going to be difficult. His only shot, honestly, was when Dustin Pedroia retired. If he would have been ready to play second, and when he got that shot, if he would have done well, then it would have been, but he struggled and so on and so forth and everything. But no, I mean, honestly, like I said, I think he's in a great spot. I think he will do. I think he has the opportunity to do better. There's no pressure. I mean, hey, the truth is, he's not going to be playing in front of packed houses at home. So 81 games, the house is not going to be full, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think there's going to be less pressure on him, and he can, get back to just, what? Hey, I'm just Michael Chavis. I play first base for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and that's what it is. Not the big prospect who, the first round draft pick, so on and so forth. And I think he has the opportunity, to do better in the long run.
I completely agree, because even look at like Dansby Swanson. Like, yeah, he performed well when he first, but same thing. He had that huge prospect, and I feel like they come in there knowing that they're this huge prospect. So they got all this weight on their shoulders,
Yeah.
and they're every time they step up to that plate, the crowd is crazy. They're expected to do something amazing, something big, and they don't do it, and it's like a struggle at the first couple seasons and stuff. Because Swanson, he was in a slump off and on, same thing. So, but he's definitely quickly turned that around, and to me, my personal opinion, I think that's the reason Swanson was able to develop a little bit better, and he's still developing. He's not the best bat out there for the Braves, but is his college experience. That playing for Vanderbilt, always playing at a really packed out house there and stuff like that, and one of the big names for Vanderbilt. So yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Like I said, I am happy that he's getting that. I'm happy that he is getting a shot, and that he should get a good shot. Like I mean, you think about it, with that team, there's really no, there's no reason that he should be looking over his shoulder, and a team that's not going to win, not going to go anywhere. I mean, there's a team that let's face it, the truth of the matter is their goal is probably, we don't want to lose 100 games.
Yeah.
It's not we want to win 100. It's like, hey, we don't want to lose 100. We don't want to go 60. We don't want to go 60, 62 and 100. We don't want to go 61 and 101. They're
Right.
hoping at best case scenario they're 63 and 99.
I was gonna say, all right, we lose 99, we're fine. We did better than last season.
Right.
And this very well might be. That's it's like you said, no reason for him to worry to
Right.
think someone's coming down on him and like
Yep.
holding him down.
And
It's
like I said, I
him.
think that's where the less pressure if he's not doing outstanding. Where when you figure again, yeah, it was great being drafted by the Red Sox, man. Great organization, all the kind of stuff. But when you look at all of a sudden now, you're thrown in, you're a first year player. You're, 24 years old,
Yeah.
25 years old,
Yeah.
and you're thrown into a situation for a team that hey, it's first place playoffs. Well, the season was a total bust. And then, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot for someone. So I mean, hopefully again it'll change everything. So, but I'm happy he's finally wearing a really good number.
Right.
What
number is he wearing actually?
2.
It is 2.
Yeah, perfect
It's
number, great number, best number to wear.
Or is that because that's the number you wear, right? When you're
That is the number that I wear.
That's awesome.
That is the number that I wear.
So, yeah.
But hey, before we go, let's go ahead and one of the things Mike and I talked about, adding a couple of segments. Mike, we probably need to add these to the beginning of the show. What do you think?
Probably.
Yeah. So we got 2 new segments that we're showing tonight, and we'll get those going here. And that first new segment we got is upcoming releases. What is coming up in the hobby, folks? What can you look forward to? Again, look, we all understand the way the dates are. Some may hit, some may not hit. We don't know. Information for you to go ahead and have for that. So let's go ahead and let's get that out of there. And Mikey, me boy, whoop. What do we got?
So for the rest of March, we got 2 dates that's gonna drop some stuff. Hopefully, on the 23rd, there's 2022 Panini Prism UFC coming out. That'll be pretty cool. And then on the 30th, there's 6 products dropping. 3 from Topps. We got Topps 2022 Inception Baseball, Topps Chrome Overtime Elite Basketball, and Topps UEFA Champions League Soccer. And then Upper Decker's got their Premier Hockey dropping, and Panini has Contenders Basketball and Prism Draft Picks Basketball.
Draft Picks Basketball? Wow.
Yeah.
Already. The Topps one is interesting. That's like that elite. That's like G League stuff, I think, right?
Yeah, some type of league.
Yeah, so that's that one is interesting. And what else we have is this day in sports history. And unfortunately, folks, March 17th, not really an outstanding day for sports history. There are some very interesting things that happened, though. Like, for instance, in 1990, Loyola Marymount played Michigan in the NCAA. It was when it was March Madness and really March Madness. It was when it was only played in March. It didn't go into April. There was no March Madness, but championship game in April. March Madness, Loyola Marymount with Bo Kimball and those guys, man. Hank Gathers, and played Michigan in the highest scoring game. Loyola Marymount won 149 to 15. 149 to 115.
Oh, I thought you said 149 to 15.
I did too, and I was like wow.
The other team only had 15 points.
No, 149 to 115, which is ridiculous.
For college ball, yeah.
Yeah. In 93, Santa Clara, the number 15 seed, upset Arizona, the number 2 seed. Santa Clara, who was there at that time? 2-time NBA MVP and current Brooklyn Nets head coach, Stephen Nash. And let's see what else we got. a huge one in basketball. Michael Jordan sent his "I'm back" fax to the Chicago Bulls
Very
on
cool.
this day.
I'm back.
I'm back. Basketball fans of other teams were like, man, this really sucks. But hey, thanks, Michael, for coming back. Let's see, anything else important? Not really, but and really the only other thing, I mean, there was some more basketball in 2016. Well, let's go. Well, let's do 2014. What was supposed to be the beginning of great things in New York Knicks basketball. Phil Jackson signed a 5-year contract. He was supposed to change everything. Didn't work. We got the worst owner in probably the history of professional sports. Well, actually not. We had the worst current one. The Mets had the worst one probably in the history of sports. Now the Knicks have number 2. So they're right there. But there really, there really hasn't been a whole bunch. Birthdays, Katie Ledecky. You know who she is? Have you heard of her?
Swimmer.
Olympic swimmer, world record holder. She was born on her day. Today's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Katie Ledecky.
But hey, that is it in the history of sports on March 17th. So we'll have to see. Hopefully we'll have more next year. Hopefully we have more next year. So what else is going on? What else you want to talk about? Baseball, I mean, season can't get here fast enough.
I know. I'm excited for it.
Zach is pumped about Matt Olson. I'm sure.
Hey, there we go. See?
Zach Sports
that proves the point of why Freddie left. We're happy because Matt Olson is here.
Well, look, Zach is a North Georgia guy. Even he's Fort Oglethorpe North, all the way up there, Kenny.
Okay, gotcha.
Zach has a great channel. He does a lot of great stuff and everything. He's been a great supporter of ours. But I tell you, Braves fans Braves fans now. They don't mind losing Freddie because of Matt Olson. Do you know darn well if Matt Olson was not here and Freddie was there, it'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Now it's like, hey, we're happy for Freddie. He led us to a World Series. He hit a home run. He caught the last out of the World Series. So
put it in his back pocket.
We should have a statue out in the parking lot for him. No one should ever wear number 5 again in the history. Ooh, Kentucky is out.
Kentucky lost.
NCAA tournament. Yep, they lost to number 15 St. Peter's.
Wow. That I actually didn't see that one coming. Wow.
I just saw it.
That's
Love my Parkview Panthers alma mater. So you're not too far from us, because Parkview's not that far from us, is it?
I have no idea.
I thought Parkview was fairly close to, not the hills of North Georgia. That was a little further, closer to Marietta. But that's really good that you got an alumni. That's pretty cool. Then
Lilburn.
What?
Lilburn, Georgia.
Oh, Lilburn. That's out.
Gwinnett County.
That's out east. Well, good for him. Gets to come home. Gets to feel the pressure of being at home, and he goes into a season-long slump.
Oh, Stone Mountain. Okay, Lilburn.
That's what happens. The pressure of being home in Atlanta, playing for his favorite team, gets to him, and he hits 210 with like 12 home runs and 48 RBIs. And then everybody's going, why the hell did we let Freddie go?
Right. Oh, man.
Man.
I mean, it's great. I mean, as a personal aspect or view on it. It's like I'm happy. You are happy. Matt Olson, now the pitcher of him signing with us, is you are happy for him because his family was in LA. He's close with his family. He's gonna be able to see his kids better and easier. I mean, even though he had a house here in Atlanta, but like when he wasn't in Atlanta and they had a little time off, he was out in LA
Yeah.
at his home. So you are happy for him. Like he'd go back to his home. So like that is good, and he can be close to his actual parents and stuff because I'm pretty sure they're still there if I remember correctly. So all in all, it's good. It'll be good to see once. Like I said, the season just can't get here fast enough. I'm eager to get it going and start watching some baseball. But I am sticking to my word. I think the Mets are going to be a little bit of a surprise, even though I hate the Mets. But I think
Ain't no surprise to it, dog.
But I think with the young,
Ain't no
fresh
surprise.
people, it's gonna mesh more. I think it's gonna be. I feel like they're good. Even if they start off rocky, maybe after the All-Star break, the Braves have had that. We started off rocky, and then the All-Star break, we're just like a whole brand new team out there. We're just like, what is going on? Now they're playing some baseball. Where was this like the first half of the season? So, that's why I never count on a team. Like you could be pretty much on a win streak all the way up to the All-Star break, but I'm like, you never know. That All-Star break is like it's like halftime in football. It could flip just like the Falcons did in the Super Bowl and lost that game. So you never know.
Well, I mean, Zach says that Matt is going to be the third Atlanta Brave from Parkview. Jeff Francoeur, Clint Salmon.
yeah, that's right. I forgot Jeff Francoeur.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean,
look, the Braves got hot at the right team. They weren't the best team. They won 88 games last year. Not that that's bad, but they got hot at the right time.
Right.
It's kind of like, look, what will I always continue to preach for the teams that we coach baseball? When do you want to play your best? Game 1 or game whatever the final game of the season, as you're getting later in the season. You want to play later as you go in the best baseball as you go into the playoffs. Make it there. That's what you got to do. You make it there, and then anything can go ahead and happen. Anything can happen in a short series. Anything can happen in a 7-game series. Yeah. The Hawks, that's what the Hawks did.
Yeah.
Last year also, they got hot after the break, and they made it to the playoffs, and they won a couple series and stuff. They weren't supposed to.
No.
I mean, people looked at the Braves and they didn't think, oh my gosh, where they were and stuff. And then they lose their best player in Acuna. They're thinking, oh my goodness gracious. Then they lose their pitcher, Soroka. It's like, holy cow, what are they going to do? Look, they made great moves. The moves that they made were excellent moves. They fit. Everybody fit in perfect. They got hot at the right time, and they won.
Right. It is. And that, to me, that's what makes baseball so amazing.
Yeah.
It's a team. Everybody came together, little bits and pieces there throughout the season, came together at the right time, like you said, and then we walk away with the World Series trophy. Like, of course, I was happy for it, and I was like all pumped through the whole season when it was in the postseason. But at the same time, I was thinking throughout the year, I said, these guys aren't going to make it to the postseason. I mean, they might make it to the postseason, but they're not going to go deep like that. They're not going to go deep into it. They might make it, the first series, if anything. But because I was like, we got some key players out, but everything just kind of clicked, and we got that run going. So it was great.
Yeah. That's why they play. That's why they play the game.
Right. That is very true.
Why they play the game. So, all right, we're getting near that hour mark. So, I want to thank everybody who has. We'll have everybody a couple of last words. I want to say, thank everybody for being here. Kenny, thanks for being on the show. Appreciate it. You're always welcome. Always, have an open invitation to show up. We put the link in the chat. Anybody, whoever shows up, click on that link. We'll let you in. I mean, like we said all the time, if you read our description, we picked Huddle because what do? When you huddle up, you come together, and that's what we want the hobby to do. So that's what what are you trying to look at? What?
I'm going blurry here.
You going blurry there, yeah. So again, hey, we'll be back next Thursday. I will be in a remote location.
Hey, work travel.
Yeah.
Nice. Travel
Yeah.
safe.
I will. Mike.
See you guys next week. Appreciate everybody joining. Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for the videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
And Kenny, last word.
Thanks for having me, and hopefully be back on this. And it was a great talking to you guys.
Very cool. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you at the next one. Don't forget, Monday, like Mike said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Catch the next videos. We're actually going to be going to make some more right now. Talk to you guys later.